You felt it for a long time. Something about you is different. You never quite fit in, not fully. You're not broken, you just see the world differently. Psychology suggests that people who feel different often grow up believing something is wrong with them, even when nothing actually is. From an early age, you could tell. Your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, they didn't match the people around you. While others blended in without effort, you felt slightly out of place, without a clear reason. Not broken, not strange, just different. And there are real psychological reasons behind that feeling. None of them mean you're failing at being human. You developed self-awareness earlier than most. When you were younger, you didn't just follow along. You observed, you noticed patterns, you picked up on things others missed. You saw how people shifted their personality depending on who they were with. You noticed who laughed a bit too hard just to be accepted, who stayed quiet to avoid being seen, and who acted confident while feeling the opposite inside. At school, you didn't only focus on lessons, you studied the room. You saw the unspoken rules, the social hierarchy. You noticed how some people were treated differently and others were ignored. At family gatherings, you could sense tension, even when everyone said everything was fine. Psychology shows that early self-awareness often creates distance, because instead of simply experiencing the moment, you're watching it, analyzing it. You weren't overthinking, you were trying to understand how the world actually works. That awareness made you emotionally mature earlier than most, but it also made it harder to relax, to be careless, to fully fit in. If you've ever felt like you had to grow up too fast, it wasn't your fault. You were paying attention before others were ready to. You don't think like most people. You don't agree with something just because it's popular. You don't follow trends just to feel included. When something doesn't make sense, a belief, a joke, a shared opinion, something inside you pauses. You question it, even if you stay silent. You've likely been in conversations where everyone was laughing or getting excited about something, and you felt disconnected, uncomfortable, out of sync. So you stayed quiet. Not because you had nothing to say, but because pretending felt wrong. Psychology calls this independent thinking. It means your thoughts come from your own reasoning, not from social pressure. But in a world that rewards agreement and quiet conformity, this can make you feel alone. People may see you as distant, hard to read, too quiet, when in reality, you just don't fake reactions to blend in. If you've ever felt like you're on a different wavelength, it's because you are. And that difference doesn't need fixing. Your mind processes things more deeply, and for longer. You don't simply move on after a conversation ends. You replay it. What you said, how you said it, how others responded. You notice the pauses, the expressions, shifts in tone, even subtle changes in energy. You question yourself. Were you misunderstood? Did it come out wrong? Did you say too much or not enough? While others forget the moment quickly, it stays with you. Not because you're insecure, but because your mind doesn't skim through life. It processes it. Psychology connects this to deep processing and heightened awareness. Your brain absorbs more information at once, whether you intend it to or not. That's why even normal conversations can feel mentally heavy. That's why social situations drain you faster than others. If socializing leaves you exhausted while others feel energized, it's not weakness. Your mind is simply doing more work in every interaction. You feel emotions more intensely than most people. A small comment can stay with you longer than you want. One sentence can echo in your mind for days. You might feel deeply hurt by things others ignore, yet stay calm in moments where others panic. That contrast can make you feel out of place, like your reactions don't match the world around you. Psychology calls this emotional sensitivity, not fragility, not overreaction. It means your nervous system responds more deeply to emotional input. Because of this, you may hide what you feel, minimize it, keep it to yourself. Not because you feel less, but because you don't want to be misunderstood, judged, or told you're too much. That's not weakness, that's learned protection. You struggle to feel truly understood. You've likely opened up before, carefully, honestly, and still heard, "You're overthinking. You're exaggerating." People may listen, but you can feel the gap. They hear your words, but they don't feel what's behind them. Over time, you learn to keep things inside. Not because you don't want connection, but because being misunderstood hurts more than being alone. Psychology shows that repeated emotional mismatch leads people to withdraw, slowly, quietly. You stop explaining. You stop sharing. You stop trying to be fully seen. You don't distance yourself because you dislike people. You step back because you're searching for something real, not surface comfort, but true understanding. And that need is completely valid. Here's the truth. Feeling different doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your mind works in its own way. You notice more. You feel more. You think deeper. That difference can feel isolating, especially around people who don't experience the world the way you do. But in the right environment, with the right people, it becomes a strength, not a burden. The goal isn't to change yourself. It's to find spaces where you don't have to shrink, explain, or pretend. If this felt familiar, you're not alone. And if you want more psychology content that helps you feel understood, not judged, subscribe. Because the next video might describe you better than you ever could.